fuel reserves to avoid further increases in fuel pump prices in the country due to international price fluctuations. In an interview with Cabinet News, Boniface Zulu says buying fuel in bulk and storing it as a country is the only long-term measure that will not affect the coffers of the country in the long run.
In the last 4 months, the country has experienced constant fuel prices due to the use of the Strategic Reserve Fund that was being used by the Energy Regulation Board, and according to ERB, the fund has since depleted and fuel prices will be dependent on international prices. Energy Regulation Board Chairperson Engineer Reynold Boa has dismissed reports that government has been subsidizing fuel. Speaking at a press briefing Tuesday afternoon, Engineer Boa says ERB has been using the Strategic Reserve Fund to support price stabilization in the country.
There have been press reports in the past few days to the effect that the government of Zambia has been subsidizing fuel. This is categorically not true. There has been no subsidy of fuel. The Strategic Reserve Fund is a fund that is set up for and supported from funds of the citizens who consume petroleum products. The use of the fund for purposes of supporting consumption of the product, whether it is used to support the cost of transportation, whether it is used to create infrastructure for the storage of petroleum products, or whether it is used to actually buy strategic reserves, is an authorized use of the fund.
Meanwhile, an energy expert has since called on government to prioritize fuel reserves as a long-term measure to avoid the effects of international prices on the country's fuel pump price. Mr. Boniface Zulu says the Energy Regulation Board must use a 6-month storage system to purchase fuel in bulk when international prices are friendly.
Needs to do is we are consuming over 30 million liters of petroleum products on a monthly basis. So meaning when we multiply 30 million liters times 6, then we'll have about 180 million liters. Now we need to produce 180 million liters of reserve capacity. When fuel prices drop on the international oil prices and the kwacha to dollar exchange rate is fair enough on the kwacha appreciates, we can buy more stock and put it in our reserve to act as a buffer against fluctuating international oil prices as well as the kwacha to dollar exchange rate. And this would be a better solution currently than implementing subsidies, which will also drain the coffers of the government in the long run.
And an economist, Kelvin Chisanga, says the country must emulate the footsteps of countries like Ghana in fuel stabilization. Mr. Chisanga says, depending on international market prices for fuel pump prices in the country will make it difficult to survive economically.
We just need to find how we can model it now. Perhaps now we should be able to follow what Ghana is doing in terms of trying to work around stabilization and recovery process. And this is what we need to look at to ensure that we have a very good safety net. Because you see, if we leave this to market patterns on the international market, it will be very difficult for us to actually see how we can go about this. Even when it comes to the business projection, it will be relatively very difficult for us to counterbalance some of the external shocks that comes with their pricing model around fuel.
Cherish Sibote,